for many, many years about helping us out. So, but yeah, they're just, and you can just ring them up at any time. And like a few weeks ago, I needed to do some pricing of some other bridges, and I said, can you give me this, and I need it this afternoon. And it was before the election, it was an election promise. I was told if I got the information by 5 o'clock in the afternoon, it would be an election promise. So I got the information to them by 5 o'clock in the afternoon. This was at 3 o'clock. And I got the information. It worked out it was $3 million worth of bridges on the Dawes Range end, and $1 million on down this end. Anyway, so I got the information together and sent it to TMR. Send it to the minister. Oh, he's not now the minister, but the member. And but he said if his party, the Labor Party, didn't win, he said he would still advocate for the rail trail. Which is fantastic, and that's what they need to be all working together. So, and it's good to be in their good books. Yeah. So within the last year, we've had Slab Creek done, and we've just had Philpott done, which was only opened in the last week or two. So fantastic bridges. So. Now, this is something that, where are you, Andrew DMAC? Andrew, when we had our first opening in 2021, Andrew DMAC and a group of guys actually rode their push bikes from Ipswich all the way to Gladstone. So this is the route that they took. If you want to talk about it, you can see Andrew. He's got a website about it too. This is at Kelpower Hall. There's with some flood money funding, they actually got some murals painted on the wall, which is a steam train, which is great. So this was Andrew's, how he mapped out his trip. Also, Bicycle Queensland have been really strong on trying to get bicycles onto trains. You only can have, on our train that goes up through Gladstone, you only can have 2 bikes, so which is absolutely crazy. But we've had people actually fly in, and they've sent their bikes by transport. They've actually ridden then all the way down to Ipswich, and they contacted me. I said, can you contact me and tell me, how much economic benefit do you think, we've got out of it? So between the 3 couples, so 6 people, $7,600 in 10 days. So, it just goes to show, and that's a few years ago now, so, and we're establishing the rail trail all the time. So some sections we'd like to see open in the near future is up near Calliope. So I've had had a chat to some of the ministers and whatever else. So we're trying to do a bit of a deal with the schools. Schools having trouble with parking, and it's right on the rail trail. So we said, well, why don't we sort of amalgamate, and we can work with the Radio Association, the rail trail, obviously, the Queensland Police, the Calliope Radio, that all use the rodeo grounds. The rodeo grounds actually sit right beside it, as you can see there. So also, if we can get to Mungar, guess where else we can go? We can go to Harvey Bay. So they're working on that now. So so there's Gayndah, then Biggin. So Gayndah to Biggin, then Biggin, there's Mungar, and Mungar then is part of just outside Maryborough, and then then we'll be able to get to Harvey Bay. How cool will that be? You'll be able to go all the way from Gladstone to Harvey Bay. I actually rode from when they had the opening of the Merita Bay. Myself and some others rode from Bullion down 450 kilometres. We rode down rail trails and back roads, and it's a fantastic ride. And I rode on the rail trail nearly all the way that I possibly could, so which was really good. Okay, so talking about our events. So events are fantastic on the rail trail, and we had a fantastic weekend with the Bicycle Queensland, and if it wasn't for Bicycle Queensland, we wouldn't have been able to run this event. So we had 209 participants that had actually registered, and it drizzled rain the whole weekend, but nobody at all complained about the rain. It just drizzled, but anyway, it stopped for a little bit, then it started again, but nobody complained at all. But this was an amazing weekend. There's no infrastructure at all where we had it. We brought in toilets, we brought in tanks, we brought in trailers to cook with, we've brought in lighting towers. Thank goodness I knew a fair few people, so I had about $24,000 donated as in-kind stuff, the lighting towers, all that sort of stuff. So that was donated through the local businesses in Gladstone, so and industry. So they donated. You can obviously see some of their tents there, and so they donated stuff. Also this year they had a running festival, or whatever they call it. I'm not into running. Not at all. So they had 170 people turn up and they rode, and they did. It was a 50 kilometre something, but anyway, so they went up to the 50, 25, 6 and a 12. But so that was up through the tunnels and then back down to Bullion again. And so that's been held this year. He's already organised for next year. And he's also ran an event on another part of the trail between Ngurin and Yabobo. He's ran it only back in September. It was you'd run for an hour, or you run for so many 6 kilometres, but you can do that an hour, so you have half an hour rest if you can do that, and then you see how many laps you can do basically. So that's what they just did on the rail trail between Yabobo and Ngurin. So they've just done that. And then we have every year, in the last few years, with Suicide Awareness Ride, so which we ride from Bullion up through to the tunnels and back again, which is 52 kilometres, or you can take the shuttle bus from Packs and Pedals, which Kevin owns, and get a shuttle up there and come down the 26 kilometres for those people that can't ride that far. So it's just been amazing how much we have done since 2021 to get all this happening. So obviously I never miss an opportunity, who know me. When the Prime Minister was in town a few years ago, I caught up with him, and you see I've got Rail Trials Australia magazine in there, and that's our mayor, Matt Burnett, and he's now the LGAQ president, and he's actually the Australian local government president as well. So that's our mayor in Gladstone. So obviously there's some ministers there. The latest minister, but now not longer minister. But anyway, I gave him a rail trail shirt when he came and spoke. I had 20 minutes to do a presentation to him, so about rail trails. And then down the bottom here, we've got caught up with the CEO of Rail Trails Australia when I was in Melbourne, and Colin Boyce. He's now in this photo here. He was the state member. Now he's our federal member. And Glenn Butcher, who's just got back in again in the Gladstone. He's not in our area, and this is Mark Bailey here, looking over the edge. So yes, never miss an opportunity. If you can see somebody, just push your way in and say, look, I'm from a rail trail, and they might listen to you. Okay, so I've just got some general photos there. That was when our event when Weekender. So just some aerial footage of the tunnels, and like I said, we've got 6 magnificent tunnels this end, and the other end we've got the beautiful bridges. So and from Mandubra down to to Gayndah, basically, you follow the Burnett River the whole way. There's platypus, you can do canoeing and that sort of stuff. So that's inside the tunnel with those hogback sleepers. So you can see these, well, it's not a very good photo, but the sleepers right in the middle are the original hogback sleepers, and they've got the actual, where the tracks sit, that's all chiselled out. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. So that's the end of my presentation, so I hope you enjoyed it. And any questions, come and see myself or Kevin's over here about the Bullion Burnett Inland Rail Trail. We've got a great website, so jump on there and have a look. Mapping's just about sorted because we've just renewed everything. And so thank you very much.
I told you she could talk, but it's worth listening to. And, that's really what today is about, hearing these stories. And, it's going to be hard to find anyone else I know better to tell the story that you've told. It's been a real rags to riches story, and well done you, Desley. We've got time for a couple of questions before. I got so excited earlier. I jumped straight to Paul because I missed him yesterday, and brain went, must focus on Paul today because I missed it yesterday. It's actually Craig England up next, who got name-checked pretty well on that last presentation there, Desley. So Craig's going to give the TMR side of things in a moment, but we've got a few minutes for questions. What? Come on. You said it all then, Desley. You covered so much.
I've got questions.
Andrew's got a question.
I'm sure others must as well, but I've got questions for you, Desley. I want to know, and I think that everybody wants to know, the volunteer group within BIRT, 270 kilometres of rail trail is just a mind-blowing amount to think about. How do you guys focus in, and how do you get stuff done when, if you sat there thinking, we've got 270 kilometres to do, we'll never do it? How do you get anything done? How do you focus in? How do you get the people to show up to those working bees?
Well, firstly, you don't sleep. That's one thing. I don't do much sleeping. So in each of our communities, so we've got Gayndah, we've got a champion in Gayndah, we've got a champion in Mandubra, we've got a couple in Eidsvold. In Monto we've got champions. In Magildy we've got champions. Each town, like on the sleeve here, you'll see all the towns. So we've got a champion that's a member in each of the towns. So we try and hinge off those, the champions, to activate what we're doing in town. Thank goodness, like places like Mandubra, we went and spoke to them and about the Rotary Club, actually. We went and spoke to the Rotary Club and we said, and I said, you guys, can you please work with us? Because everybody's going, oh, rail trails, you come into our town and taken over. But they just didn't understand. So, as you know, most people don't understand what a rail trail is that doesn't cycle or walk. So anyway, we went and had a meeting with the Rotary Club in Mandubra, and we said, would you be able to sort of help us out, basically? So, so they actually applied for some funding through TMR, and they got some funding, and they actually started as the Rotary Group, actually working on part which about 3.5 kilometres away is the Burnett River. It's called the ski area. So they've started working on that section there, and so they got funding to do that, and they've been great, and it's all about, the key is about communication. So if you don't have that communication with anybody along the trail, you won't get anything done. So, I'm on the phone once a week to one of the guys in Mandubra Rotary, and I'll go and just talk to them and say, and is there anything you need, what you need, and whatever else. So we've had a few little issues that's happening in Mandubra with work, because it's very limited for people with earth-moving machinery. So in each town, then in Gayndah, like Mike, they have a working bee crew. They go 3 days a week. And they've got some work for the dole people, or work, whatever they call it these days. So, so they go out and go 3 times a week, and just in the mornings, and do some Gayndah stuff. But when we have a big working bee, like this weekend we've got a big working bee, we just put it on Facebook, we share it as much as we like. We've got over 200 members, so we send them all an email as well saying we've got a working bee happening this weekend. So Gladstone Regional Council gave us $7,500 to put counters in, so we're putting them in this weekend, and we've actually got some signage to put up for our markers, which we got funding from Bendigo Bank. So just the last few years, we're fortunate enough to get a friend of mine that loves doing grants. So, and she's been winning a lot of grants, which is great. So we got $16,500 from Bendigo Bank. So Bendigo Banks, if you've got a Bendigo Bank in your town, go and see them, or go jump onto their website. It's always open. But getting back to the working bees, But everybody, now the Rotary Club now in Gladstone, they want to be involved. There's 3 Rotary Club in Gladstone. They all want to be involved. So there was a Queen's Jubilee. They had to plant. They wanted to plant some trees. So they asked us about planting trees. So we had all the Rotary people. I think there was 30 of those turn up, and we all turned up, and we planted 100 trees for 100 years of Rotary. So they've planted those on Gillimble. So whoever was there in May for the event would have seen the trees, and they've been growing really nice. Out of 100 trees, can you believe? Guess how many we've lost? 8. So yes, so we've had some of our volunteers been going out watering them, and then we had a really wet year, which was really good. So they've been in for about 2.5 years now. And then they said, oh, we love that project so much, so they've actually done bullion. So we've got 65 trees in bullion, and then December last year we got a 60 trees at Naguran siding. So the little groups, community groups, and if you can get them involved with you, they're the ones that save you the backache and the heartache.
Don't go sitting down. I think if you need to be standing up there, because there's more questions. There was a gentleman down the back.
Out of your 75 kilometres that are currently open, that's in different sections, and also can you safely ride between those sections away from highways?
Yeah, I'll say yes. All depends what sort of bike. Don't come with a skinny wheel gravel bike. But between the sections, if we haven't been maintaining them, they're not usually slashed or whatever else. So you've got long grass and that to deal with. But there's not going to be much to get some. It's mainly the bridges that we're having to go around, so you'd have to come back onto a main road to get back onto them. But like I said, I nearly rode the whole way, and like Kevin rode, they came and joined us, and we rode to the silos at Monto. If anybody's seen the silos and seeing that video yesterday, that sort of cracked me up a little bit. I thought that was just absolutely perfect. But so we mainly rode. How many kilometres is that, Kevin? Probably 70 kilometres. 80 kilometres that day we rode, and we nearly rode, except we had to go on a back road, but nearly rode mostly on the rail trail if we could, yeah. So it's not going to take much to get it done, but, you know, you don't want volunteer fatigue. This is our biggest problem. So, and a lot of our volunteers are much older than Kevin and I. We have some volunteers that go out 3 days a week poisoning and mowing, and we have a guy out there, he just loves mowing. So, and we got a guy with a disability. We have a disability group that actually come once a month now. They come out and we pay them $83.50, and if they bring one person or 5 people. So that's all we have to pay, a standard rate of just $83.50, and so whether they bring 5 or 1, and they come with their whippersnippers, and their sense of ownership is just amazing.
Yeah, thanks, Desley. You've kind of covered this a little bit, but so you've got some sections open now and so many more other sections to open. Is that getting easier, or has the process changed in trying to get them open with the success that you've had in the sections that are already open? Has it changed the process at all because more people are, you know, understanding what you're doing?
Don't know whether it's changed the process. The biggest problem is in the feasibility study, Mike, he chose three sections we should open. Okay, so we've got like the 3 sections open basically that he chose. But the people in Eidsvold said, "Oh, what about us? Why aren't we doing anything in Eidsvold?" So we said, well, it's not on the feasibility study, but if you guys want to do something, by all means, let us know. And so Eidsvold will be our next section. We've got another 30 kilometres we're hoping to open within the next 6 months. All we need to do is put gates, all we need to do here on gates, gates or grids, and slash it. But we've had some people from Eidsvold actually slash it, so you can ride now from Eidsvold, 20 kilometres to Serratus, or 10 kilometres back to Grosvenor. So it's probably knowing what you're doing now, being smarter about what you do.
We've probably known better not to.
Yeah.
As Desley was saying, though, you want some fat tyres for some of these. It's pretty unimproved and it's an adventure, but yeah, you'll get where you're going along that trail. It'll be great.
All right, let's have a round of applause for Desley. Well done. Can you come here, Desley? We've got a little something for you here. It matches those wonderful earrings that you've got. Well done. All right, thanks, Desley. Plenty of other questions I'm sure you're thinking of, so you can catch Desley at the break. We're aiming to have morning tea at 10:25. Another good presentation now. So this is Craig England from the Department of Transport and Main Roads, and as you know, they are a major player in this space. It's interesting, in our position in BQ, we deal with a lot of other states, and we have teleconferences with our partner organisation.